Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. So here it is guys, today we're going over the Quest 3. I have my full review. Now first off, I gotta say thank you to Meta for sending me a device early so that I can get some content ready for you guys. This is technically my third video. I originally did a hands-on first impressions, then I answered all your questions, Quest 2 versus Quest 3, but now we could finally do a full review of the Quest 3. And what I'm trying to get out of this here is just give you as much information as you may need as quick as possible. The other videos went into a little bit more detail. Today is going to be a bit more rapid fire. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by VR Cover, the first company to ever offer VR comfort and hygiene accessories, and they've been doing it since 2014. They just introduced a brand new cover for the Quest 3, the first of many new products on the way. Their latest cover features a multi-layered, super soft, antimicrobial fabric that's ideal for absorbing sweat during intense VR games, but can also be quickly and easily hand washed. The extra foam lining is designed to increase the overall comfort level with your Quest 3, and it easily installs right over the stock facial interface. These new covers are available in gray or red and are sold in sets of 2. So go head over to vrcover.com or use the link down in the description, and don't forget to use the discount code Mateo311Q3 for 10% off and to help support this channel. I'm really excited to see what additional products VR Cover comes up with in the near future for the Quest 3, but for right now, a comfort enhancing and extra hygienic cover is a great start. Okay, so this video is going to be a bit rapid fire today. I don't want to spend a lot of time going over topics that I already went over in my previous 2 videos. Today is mainly going to be my opinion with not a lot of the why I feel that way. Now, if you want that information, I'll link the other 2 videos later on. But the most important thing and easiest way to describe the Quest 3, it is an overall improvement of the Quest 2 in every single way except for 2 items. 1, the price tag. It is about 66% more, which is a pretty hard pill to swallow. We'll go back to that later. And then the second one is the battery life. If you're looking for a lot longer battery life, you're not going to get it. You'll probably get about 2.2 hours of gaming, which is on par with the Quest 2. So that's it in a nutshell. The Quest 3 is just everything improved otherwise. Now let's go through all of those items. The Quest 3 is powered by a brand new Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chip, which has twice the power of the chip in the Quest 2. What does that mean? Better looking games and better performance. On top of that, there's a brand new pair of LCD panels which up the resolution, giving you 30% more pixels. What does that mean? Your games are going to look better, watching movies on this is going to be better, and there's no screen door effect. Audio is improved. The microphone seems a bit better, still not amazing, still not index quality, but a bit better.
This is a microphone test of the Quest 3.
The overall audio is definitely nicer. I've been playing games that I'm very familiar with on the Quest, and I'm hearing things I've never heard before. So there's a nice audio improvement. Still not amazing. It's definitely louder though, and definitely more range, at least in my opinion. I haven't done any hardcore sound testing. Another massive improvement is the Pancake Lens. For those completely unfamiliar, you have your LCD panel, which is what produces the image, but between the LCD panel and you is a lens, which needs to curve the light so that it actually looks the way it should. It bends into your eyeballs and makes it look like real life. Otherwise, it would be distorted. Now, the lens is obviously a significant factor here. Older lenses had things like glare, sweet spots, and they weren't always like super clear. The brand new Pancake Lens is a huge improvement. It is edge-to-edge clarity. You don't really need a sweet spot anymore. So it basically removes the majority of graphical defects and leaves you with a much clearer image. Now, if you haven't tried a Quest Pro or Pico 4, this will probably be the most impressive new item on the headset for you. Honestly, it's hard to describe until you try it, and everything just looks better. Sadly, the Quest 3 does come with a cloth strap again, but I will say it is definitely an improvement over the one on the Quest 2. I found the Quest 2 strap to be completely useless. I absolutely needed to upgrade for, stable support, but this is fine. I'm gonna upgrade it the moment I can, but for right now, this is fine. It sits on my head okay. It doesn't wobble around a lot. Some people I know it's bending their ears. It does not bend my ears. It is fine for me. Not great, an improvement from the Quest 2, still not great, but fine. Now there's also new ringless controllers, which function the same as the Quest 2 controllers. They don't work like the Quest Pro controllers with built-in cameras. They still have IR lights in them, but based on the new position of cameras on this headset and the depth sensor and new tracking algorithms, they basically, in my opinion, track a lot better than the Quest 2. Initially, I said these track just as good, but I was doing a lot of occlusion testing, even a little bit behind my back, and these seem to track pretty damn good. I feel like that's another upgrade. The haptics are a little bit better in the controllers too. I'm not impressed with the Quest 2, Quest Pro, or, Quest 3 controllers as far as haptics go. They don't blow me away. I wish they had more kick, but you could feel it. It's an upgrade, just a minor one, at least in my opinion. Now, if you're curious if your old accessories will work with the new controllers, the answer is maybe. Anything that doesn't rely on the ring should be fine, as the base is still the same shape and size as the original. I do have these gun mounts, and you can see it fits just fine. Now, diving further into my subjective opinion, I first want to say I'm pretty hard to please. I thought the Quest Pro right here was just really crappy. I did not like this headset at all. It was overpriced. It didn't impress me enough. I found that it wasn't comfortable, too much pressure directly on your head. But then when we get to the Quest 3, I'm impressed. Like I said, it's an overall improvement, and it's actually a big improvement over the Quest Pro, in my opinion. Unless you really need eye tracking for whatever reason, there's no reason to ever buy the Quest Pro again, unless maybe you find it for like $200 on eBay. Otherwise, the Quest 3 does everything the Quest Pro can do and more, and actually does it better. Better chip, better screen, has a depth sensor. It's killing it, man. So overall, I'm impressed with this device. I can't deny it. A lot of times you want to hate on Meta. They've made bad decisions in the past, like the Quest Pro. They rub us the wrong way here and there. A lot of times you feel like they've taken VR gaming back years in time, which is understandable opinions. But you got to call a spade, and this is an impressive device for sure. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because, one, I already did an extremely lengthy Quest 2 versus Quest 3 video. And additionally, if you're familiar with the Quest 2, you know what the Quest 3 is already. It's just a better version of that. A significantly better version. Now, I do want to discuss their new functionality. The pass-through is actually surprisingly good and a huge improvement from the Quest Pro, but it's the applications themselves that aren't selling me. It still feels very gimmicky to me. It's like we're back in 2017 VR days. We're getting little demos. They're cool and all. They're, immediately impressive, but they're lacking depth. And I still don't feel like why I would want to play in an AR experience rather than a fully immersive VR experience. I haven't tried that yet, except for maybe one demo. Meta wants you to believe that mixed reality feels like this. Now, the majority of my testing with this new headset has been in mixed reality experiences because, quite frankly, they're the only thing new here. Otherwise, I'm just going to be playing the same old games with slightly better graphics, basically. So, mixed reality, like I said, feels a bit gimmicky, doesn't really give me anything overall too impressive yet, but the item that does include a lot of new utility is something like piano vision. You put on the headset, you sit down at a piano, and it can teach you how to play the piano. This was an amazing experience. And again, it's something beyond just gaming that makes me, think, wow, I could do stuff with AR that isn't possible anywhere else. And that's something that previously VR brought to the table. It gives you gameplay experiences you can't get anywhere else. Well, now I have some new functionality I couldn't get anywhere else, and it's functionality that I want and I will probably use. So eventually, over time, as these experiences come out, maybe I'll be sold on mixed reality. Now, I can't go into the demos I've tried right now because most of them are still embargoed. Like this week, they'll start releasing, but there's plenty of existing VR games that came out with mixed reality modes, and I don't think they're better than the VR game itself for the vast majority of them. But Piano Vision did sell me, So I still have plenty of hope for mixed reality in the future. I almost forgot to mention an additional issue with mixed reality. So one of the experiences I went to try required a 2.2 meter ceiling. My ceilings are 7 feet tall. 2.2 meters is about 7 feet 2 inches. Now I know 2 inches can make a big difference, but in this case, I don't think it should. I was unable to try that demo in my room, which has 22 feet. It's 22 feet long, this room. This is my VR room. This is where I play everything. And I couldn't play that demo down here. So now play space once again becomes an issue, an even bigger issue for mixed reality than it was for VR. So it's a tough sell. But let's move back into good news with PCVR Performance. I know a lot of people are looking to get this headset to use it with PCVR, and I'm very happy to report that my experience with both AirLink and Virtual Desktop were absolutely fantastic. Half-Life Alyx looked amazing. I put that game on and it actually loaded right in front of a head crab and I was freaking out. It is just, God, it looks good on this headset. Seriously, between the Pancake Lens and the new LCD panels, PCVR is awesome on this headset. Historically, I did not have great performance with AirLink. It was pretty mediocre for me and I preferred Virtual Desktop. But now with the Quest 3, AirLink was flawless. Like, I had a really clear screen. I wasn't getting any jitter. I wasn't getting any lag. Latency was barely noticeable, and I have a high sensitivity to latency. So overall, it was a fantastic experience, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I might start using this over my Valve Index. I know. Sorry, Master Race, but it's just convenient and looks good, and when the battery dies, I'll switch back to my Index. But honestly, I was surprised with the performance on AirLink. Now, performance on Virtual Desktop was also excellent with the stock settings. I didn't change anything just to see how it plays. Looked great, ran great. Latency was getting as low as like 29 milliseconds, which is absolutely perfect. Basically, I'm getting a better picture and a little bit more stability with right around the same performance of the Quest 2. So it's, again, another boost. Now, there's lots of settings you could tweak in Virtual Desktop to probably up your performance even more. I just decided, let's try and push it. Let's go as far as we can. Godlike mode. I do have a 4090. And when I get that far, I was experiencing more jitter, a little bit more latency. So there is definitely a middle ground somewhere to get like perfection. But overall, I was impressed. And just on the stock medium settings with the lower bitrate, it still ran and looked great. I wasn't seeing a lot of artifacts. I wasn't seeing compression. Most likely due to the fact that this headset now uses a new encoder. They use AV1. So, you know, that absolutely has the ability to improve things. It also uses Wi-Fi 6E. So while you're probably not losing a lot of time on the transmission with wireless capabilities, you're a lot less likely to get interference if you're using Wi-Fi 6E. So overall, PCVR is yet one more improvement on this device. Now I'm going to breeze through another topic because again, I've discussed this a lot, and that is comparing games on Quest 2 to Quest 3. Do they look better? Yes. Will all of them look better? Well, they're at least at minimum perform better. So if games had any, they were lagging, had trouble keeping up with their frame rate, that should be resolved. There is an automatic resolution bump, so some games should just automatically look a little bit better. But when a developer wants to take full advantage of the Quest 3 hardware, they can make their games look significantly better. And we've seen a bunch of these demos now. There's Hubris, there is Saints and Sinners, there's Red Matter 2. The graphical difference is pretty striking. When they really go in there and push things, you get more shadows, more lighting, a lot better textures because there's more RAM on this device. So is it like going from mobile to PCVR? No. At best, the Quest 3 is like a low-end PCVR hardware from years ago, like maybe around a 1060. Maybe that's pushing it a little bit. On paper, a 1060 is still a lot more powerful, and I'm talking about a NVIDIA GTX 1060. So on paper, that device is still like twice the power of a Quest 3, but between the tricks of the trade, optimization, stuff like that, you probably get somewhere close to a 1060 low-end CPU experience on PCVR with this mobile device. So again, what's the moral of the story here? Impressive, 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 impressive. And we'll round this video out answering another major question. Should you upgrade or should you buy this headset? Now, if you are a Quest 2 owner, don't be in a rush to buy this. Yes, it's an upgrade, but you don't get the FOMO. Don't feel like you have to get it. There are no games right now that you need this headset for. There's no exclusives just yet. And sure, the games you enjoy playing will look or run a bit better, but it's not enough to just immediately run out and spend $500 unless you're a VR fanatic or you have the disposable income. So while I do recommend it to you, just don't feel like you have to get it immediately. There's other reasons why I say maybe you might want to wait. If mixed reality just doesn't come through and it's functionality you're going to pay for that you don't need. So it looks like next year there's something like the Quest Lite coming out, which might possibly be a Quest 3 without mixed reality. We don't know yet. We don't know what it is, but it should be a cheaper Quest 3. So you can hold out for that. There are other devices you might want to hold out for too. I know some people are waiting on the Deckard, which might be a 2024 product. We don't know. So you don't need to be in a rush. Additionally, this device comes with 128 gigabytes of hard drive space, which might be a little small. And if Meta follows suit, by next year, they'll probably have a 256 model with the same price tag. So that's something to consider. And if you have to go to the 512 gigabyte hard drive, the upcharge is excessive. I feel like you're getting ripped off there. So yes, I do recommend it as an upgrade, but you don't feel like you have to do it. Now, if you're a PCVR person and you're considering buying this as an upgrade, that's probably an easier recommendation. Now, most PCVR headsets are still going to run you $500 anyway, and you don't have all the benefits of a mobile device like wireless and standalone gaming. So you might want to consider this for sure. The only people I'd say nah to is if you already have a Quest Pro, or you have a Pico 4 maybe, or you just shelled out for something really big. But if you're on older hardware like a Rift or a HTC Vive, definitely consider this as an upgrade. You'll definitely like it. Like I said, I wouldn't 100% recommend this as an upgrade over the Index because it's a little bit of a sidestep. Not everything's an improvement. You're losing out on the enhanced tracking of the Index, the knuckles, the fact that you could use full body tracking, the improved audio and microphone. And personally, I still think, even though it's a lot heavier, I think it's still a little bit more comfortable of a device. And people might not agree there. Comfort is subjective. So it's a great device for PCVR, especially if you're looking to get, into PCVR for the first time or upgrade. Great device for PCVR. Now, if you own a PlayStation 5 and you're trying to decide between getting PlayStation VR and Quest 3, this decision is a bit harder. They're the same price tag, and you do get more value out of your Quest 3. However, if you're fully invested in the Sony ecosystem and you like the types of games they make, the exclusive content they have like Horizon, the Resident Evil, Forza, stuff like that, you might want to steer towards Sony. Sony still has a more powerful processor pushing their games, so you can get more robust, more immersive VR experiences. So if that's what you're gunning for, graphics, immersion, those Sony exclusives, go that route. But if you're interested in AR, you like standalone, you want to take your headset places, or you have any, consideration of doing PCVR in the future, go with the Quest 3. Now, another hard decision is if you're getting your first VR headset ever, should you go Quest 2 or Quest 3? Now, my gut instinct is to tell you, listen, just get the Quest 3, spend the extra $200 and you'll love it. And, you'll be future proofing. There will be exclusives for the Quest 3 probably in a year or so. It just runs much better, more comfortable, looks better, etc., etc. However, because the Quest 3 is here, eBay is flooded with cheap headsets. Now, using something that someone wore on their face kind of feels gross, but you can replace the facial interface or just get a cover for it. So you might still want to consider it because they're like $120. Now, if you could get one for that cheap and you're unsure about VR, it's a good introduction, especially for $100. But otherwise, I would say go demo VR. Go to someone's house who has a Quest 2 or a Quest 3. Play it, see how you feel about it. Get as much hands-on experience as you can. Remember in the back of your mind that there is like a honeymoon period where you'll be initially super impressed and that'll die down as you just realize that a lot of games are kind of shallow, and you got to realize what type of gamer you are. Do you like God of War and those style games, Final Fantasy, or do you play more casually? And if you play casually, you enjoyed VR, you're not getting like any motion sickness, even though you'll probably work your way through motion sickness if you do experience it. If you're on that side, the more casual side, then go to the Quest 3. I don't think you'll regret it. And that right there was my rapid fire Quest 3 review. I think it's, different than your typical review, guys. I'm trying to give you guys a lot of information you don't get anywhere else. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you have any additional questions, drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer you. It's been really busy lately though, but if I see anything unique that I didn't answer, I'll do my best to respond. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. As always, I'll see you guys on next time.